Marc Marquez has once again stolen the attention of the MotoGP world with an almost unstoppable performance. Riding a Ducati, the 8-time world champion has shown that he is not yet finished. In fact, he is even more ferocious. His actions on track are not only about winning, but also about sending a warning signal to all his rivals. Is this the start of Marquez's new dominance with Ducati? Let's discuss it. 5 years ago, Marc Marquez was on the brink of his career. The brutal arm injury he suffered in Jerez in 2020 left many doubting his ability to return to peak performance, let alone surpass it. But now, in the 2025 season, the racing world is witnessing more than a comeback. This is a full-fledged reincarnation. Marquez is not just back. He is dominating. As the first half of the 2025 MotoGP season gets underway, one name is once again echoing around the paddock with full force: Marc Marquez. The Spanish rider leads the standings with a near-perfect record, 7 wins from 8 races and, even more remarkably, all from pole position. A dominance that is not only astonishing, but reminiscent of his glory days at the beginning of the last decade. His transition from Honda, which seemed to be faltering in recent years, to Ducati, which is now a dominant force, has been so smooth and almost without obstacles. It was as if he had been part of the Red family for a long time. There was no period of adjustment, no trial and error. Marquez put his foot down immediately and confirmed who was in charge on the grid this season. But those victories were not just luck or the result of a faster bike. Marquez arrived with a combination that was almost impossible to match. Raw speed that was still the same as before, intelligence in reading the race, increasing emotional maturity, and a consistency that frustrated his rivals. Many observers even dared to say that this is the best version of Marc Marquez ever, even more terrifying than when he dominated from 2013 to 2019. One of the most senior figures in the paddock, Tech 3 team boss Hervé Pontrel, did not hesitate to express his admiration. "For me, this is the best Marc Marquez we've ever seen," he said emphatically. He continued with conviction, "He still has incredible speed, but now he has experience, maturity, and incredible composure. Marquez is no longer just a fast rider. He has developed into a complete person, a true champion." Even when he made a rare mistake in Austin that cost him a place in the top flight, Marquez didn't waver. He didn't get carried away with his emotions. Instead, he analyzed, learned from the moment, and bounced back as only a legend can. He responded with a stunning victory in Qatar, beating Maverick Vinales in a nail-biting duel that went down to the final lap. It wasn't just a race, it was a statement. Marc Marquez's rise was no fluke. It was the result of the boldest and most monumental decision of his career, turning down a €100 million contract from Honda. It would have made him the highest-paid rider in MotoGP history. But Marquez chose a different path. He wasn't tempted by luxury, but by the desire to win. "If you really want to win, you have to be willing to sacrifice many things, including money," said Gigi Dall'Igna, the architect of Ducati's success. This is not just a philosophy. It is the principle by which Marquez now lives. He left his comfort zone, left the team that once made his name, and traded money for something more valuable: competition. He chose Ducati, a team on the rise and hungry for glory. And the result of that bet? A sight that now dominates the paddock. Marquez is triumphant again. The 2025 season will be a new chapter. He is no longer just a part of Ducati, but the leader of the main factory team. He is not only the fastest rider on the track, but also an icon of Ducati's revival. More than that, he is chasing his 9th World Championship title, a record that would put him on a par with the great legend Valentino Rossi. Ducati team manager Davide Tardozzi did not hesitate to say that Ducati has now become an empire in MotoGP. "We have a king and a prince in our garage," he said confidently, referring to the two phenomenal figures who now inhabit their paddock, Marc Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia. According to Tardozzi, what Marquez did in the last race was clear evidence of the presence of the new king. Marquez was able to maintain a consistent time of around 1:05.2.5 on several crucial laps, an extraordinary performance that confirmed his dominance on the track. Tardozzi also believes that Marquez is not nearing the end of his career. On the contrary, he predicts that the 8-time world champion will be a major threat for the next 4 to 5 years. This is not just a remnant of past glory. This is not a peak career that is approaching twilight. This could be the start of a new chapter, the second golden era of Marc Marquez, and Ducati is the palace where the story begins again. Marc Marquez now leads the championship by 17 points from his own brother Alex Marquez, who is also defending the Gresini Ducati team. Third is defending champion Francesco Bagnaia, 26 points behind Marquez. Meanwhile, the best non-Ducati rider, Johann Zarco of the LCR Honda team, is a distant 85 points behind. In the Constructors' Championship, Ducati's dominance is becoming increasingly apparent. They are 99 points ahead of their nearest rival. Ducati's lead in the team championship is also unstoppable, with a staggering 174 points ahead of the nearest non-Ducati team. In short, Ducati are not just leading, they are dominating every line of competition. And in the midst of this storm of victories, Marc Marquez stands as the unwavering spearhead. But it looks like this story is far from over. Now one name is beginning to steal the spotlight and provoke some very bold comparisons. Pedro Acosta, the young Spanish sensation dubbed the new Marquez by many observers. In his debut season in MotoGP in 2024, Acosta impressed with 5 podiums and 1 pole position, an extraordinary achievement for a rookie. Now the speculation begins to spread. Acosta is rumored to be joining Ducati, and not just any team, but the legendary Valentino Rossi VR46 team. A move that could be the start of a new chapter in MotoGP history. Interestingly, Marc Marquez himself does not seem to be worried. In fact, in an interview he welcomed Acosta with enthusiasm. Marquez even stated that he wanted to face the young rider with an equal bike, on the same track. He wants to fight with equal weapons. He wants to beat the best. If this scenario does come to pass, the MotoGP drama will take on a new dimension. This is because Valentino Rossi, owner of VR46, is said to see Acosta as an anti-Marquez figure. A young rider with the potential to destroy the dominance and records of his old rival. The generational rivalry, with the shadow of an old feud lingering, could explode again in a fresher and hotter form. The Ducati GP25 is not only the fastest bike on the grid, it is the perfect package. Stable under the brakes, agile and precise in the corners, and explosive on the straights. But what makes this combination truly lethal is not just the engine, but the man who rides it. Marc Marquez has changed. He's no longer just an aggressive rider who instinctively bluffs. Now he's a strategic artist. He manages his tires more carefully, attacks with deadly efficiency, and only takes risks when victory is within reach. This is the new Marquez, transformed from a fearless gladiator into a cunning and dangerous general of war. The 2025 season is not just a comeback. It's a total transformation, an evolution of the legend that MotoGP has long known. Marc Marquez isn't just coming back, rejecting comfort and big paychecks for an unprecedented challenge. He's leaving his comfort zone and choosing a tougher road with Ducati, a team that's full of pressure but also full of potential. More than just a rider, Marquez shows that greatness isn't just about wins or lap records. It's about the sacrifices you don't see on camera, the courage to face public doubt, and the perseverance to prove that age is no limit and injury is not the end. What do you think about Marquez's dominance in 2025? Will he match or even surpass Rossi? Or will a new challenger like Pedro Acosta emerge, ready to change the MotoGP power map? Let us know your opinion below.